Hey there everyone, and welcome back. I've decided to test another mechanic not so long after the last video. There has been some speculation on the wiki, particularly by Shu En, who brought this to my attention, that Bloodlust and the other augments from Assassin, Sanguinity, and I always forget the other one's name, uh, that they do not activate and deactivate at the times specified by, well, both the guides as well as the augment XML data. In the English guide, at least, it is misprinted. No shit, like usual, as as running from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. And on the XML file data, it is listed as starting at the same time, 9 p.m. or 2100, and ending at 4 a.m. And that's for all three of them: Entrancement, Sanguinity, and Bloodlust. If you've never seen these before, Entrancement will increase your stamina by 100 points, Sanguinity by your health by 100 points, and Bloodlust is supposed to increase your attack and your magic attack and your defense and magic defense all by 20%. Yeah, not quite so. It's a little weird, but all of these are supposed to activate at 9 p.m. and end at 4 a.m. Not quite, especially as Shuen had figured out with his own testing. It's a bit off from what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't really matter. It's actually a bit of a benefit. For this, though, I have decided to wait for the sunrise here in Casa D. And we'll also be using the input, because, hey, it has a clock that tells you what time it is in the game world. Right now I have slowed time to pretty much the same as real world time. Let's change that. Oh, I should probably go to a menu screen so I can actually use the mouse properly. For those wondering, not real world time, the default game time is going to be 1 minute for every real world 2 seconds. It's pretty slow. Let's change that. We could double it, but I got a better idea. Let's do more than double. I don't know if that's actually doubling or not. I know 2 instead of 1 was actually proper double speed, though, so I think it just continuously doubles. If you've never been aware of it, I should slow this down. It's getting close to it. If you've never been aware, the actual switchover for enemies at nighttime is 2000 hours, or 8 p.m. So if you've ever been wondering when nighttime spawns will occur, or when that's the crossover period, I think, I don't quite know for sure, but I think AM, like daytime spawns, I think they come about certainly by 6, but I think actually a little bit before, probably 5 o'clock. Not 100% about that, though. I've never done a whole bunch of daytime camping like that. But here we've slowed it back down to normal. In fact, I should probably show you my stats, so we have a baseline. My health right now caps out at 1,903. My stamina at 2,145. My offense, at least for my daggers, caps out at 908. My magic at 231. Defense at 490. And magic defense at 401. Pay attention to these values. According to the augment, Bloodlust, it increases your strength, so attack and magic attack, and mitigates damage. It doesn't quite mitigate damage. If it does, it's not by simply increasing your defense stats. Because as we cross over to 2100 hours, you will see the stats increase. And I'll pause right before 2100. There we go, 2059, just so we can see that nothing has activated. Everything is the same. And 1 minute. There we go. There we have it. Increased stats, health and stamina by 100. My offenses have been boosted by 20% of their... I don't know if it's base or overall. I didn't calculate that. I think it's base. In fact, the base is higher, I think, than what it was prior. Didn't bother writing that down, so who knows. Don't really care. It still increases. But defense, you'll notice nothing has changed. Not the overall, not the base. So, yeah, even though Bloodlust is activating, defense values did not go up at all. This is on normal mode. Maybe I could suffer a blow or something. I didn't test that ahead of time, but maybe we'll try that. But yeah, so they definitely activate at 9 p.m. or 2100. Let us speed up time to a ridiculous amount so that we can get to daytime really quickly. This is just lovely. That wonderful waiting game. All right. Almost at midnight. There we are. There's 1 o'clock. And just before 2, let's double check. Yep, everything is still activated. There's the 2 o'clock mark. Everything's still activated. We are getting closer and closer to the 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And 3 o'clock, but I already know it does not activate or deactivate at 3 o'clock. Tested this ahead of time a little bit. Yep, there it is, 3 o'clock. Everything's still activated. Brady, you suck. Make better guides, please. They make decent guides, but their Dogma guide, whoever worked on it, they did a really shitty job. I'm not ashamed to say that, and I like Brady guides. I think they're a lot better than Prima. Too bad Brady's gone. Brady? I don't know. However you want to pronounce it. But now we're here back at normal speed for time. And let us see what happens when 4 o'clock rolls around. Boop. There we go. 4 o'clock. And lo and behold, it is actually still activated. So the XML data is, again, not being interpreted properly, it would seem. Similar to the intervention as well as, what do you call it? That augment I just tested a little bit ago. Preemption. Both of those weren't being interpreted correctly. And it seems Bloodlust. I already forgot the name of the other one. Bloodlust. I don't know, Entrancement, where the fuck that stamina-based one was, and Sanguinity. They're not being interpreted correctly. Let's boost this just a little bit. Get a little closer to 5 o'clock, faster than normal. That lovely sea breeze. All right. For those of you that have never been close to a sea or large body of water, it is quite lovely. The smell and taste of the air is great. All right. So back to real time. I guess I should pause too so we can see specifically it's still active. It didn't deactivate at some point between 4 and 5. Still all there. And 5 o'clock. Deactivated. Back to normal. So, would seem that Shuen's findings on PS4 were actually accurate. Actually, looking at the offense right now, it does not look like the bracketed base stats had actually been increased, so it was the overall stats, the equipment, perhaps. Strange. Strange indeed. Not what I was expecting. I've never really bothered looking into these stat boosting calculations. Out of curiosity, though, I'm sure some of you are a bit curious if we take a bit different damage. Let's see if I can coax something out of an enemy. And where should we go? Oh, I'm gonna take big damage. I'm gonna die. Oh, never mind. I'm alive. Let's just reload save. It's probably faster to go to Bitter Black, and that's where my last checkpoint was. Also, let's show off the rest benches too. It has been updated in the wiki, but previously back on console days, everyone thought rest benches forwarded time by 1 hour. That was a false observation, as we'll demonstrate here. 1930, and we rested, still 1930. I'll just switch over to 1931 and 32, and so on. So rest benches do not change the progression of time if you are ever playing on console and wondering about that. Let's go into the dungeon. Also, let's activate. Actually, no, let's not activate. Let's get a baseline read. Hobgoblins. There's some down here, I think. I need a standard attack from one of them. And this is normal mode too, so not double damage. Who let the dogs out? I forgot they say that. Regular attack. Alright. Let's write this down. Live testing, what do you know? So from 1,903 down to 1,839. All right, let us reset yet again and come back in with Bloodlust activated. Come on. I'm going to take off the other augments.
If there is aught I can do, say it.
Oh, deposit. No, I'm in the wrong screen.
If there is aught
Set augments entrancement, not entitlement. I don't know why I can't remember that name. Oh boy. Actually, I might just wait out here as well. Let's forward time really quickly. 40. That'll go real fast. There we go. Bloodlust activated. And just to make sure, double check again. Yep, there's the extra stats. Okay. Come on, throw the torch. And regular sword attack, please. Okay. That did more damage. Slightly. But still roughly within the same margin. I'm at 1855. That is not a great reduction. Certainly not a 20%. Not increase or decrease. I think the difference in damage from that blow was only caused by the maybe a swing that they did was I certainly know it was a different attack swing. But either way, that's definitely not a different amount of damage overall. So something's not working with it. Either the description is false, and the in those 2 lines in the XML that list the 20% increase. Perhaps those 2 lines that I was reading before are only directed at the attack and magic attack values. It would seem odd that you would have just 2 lines directed at 4 values like that. The only reason that would perhaps work is if it was not at specific stats, but at final calculations. So say maybe a stat a stat was being not increased. The attack damage that you did to a target perhaps was being increased. The game might calculate a sum total and then apply the 20% to that sum total. So you don't see it on your stats, but you see it on the outcome. But that's not how this seems to be working, especially since you can, go down and see that it's being applied individually to both strength and magic. So it seemed that those lines of code and their value adjustments are maybe directed at only those two stats rather than including also magic defense and regular physical defense. Either way, that is Bloodlust activation, deactivation times, and maybe you'll also enjoy seeing. I know Shuen was curious about the sleep and rest times. Let's go to an inn. Let's show off what time you wake up at, depending on day and night. I was about to call this closed, but hey, it'll be fun. It's a little chaotic for a test, I know. But that's kind of how I am. If I remember correctly, I believe wake up time is 6 a.m. exactly. At least if you're going to morning. If you're going to night, though, you wake up a little bit later than what it currently is.
Good news, Matt. What can I do you for?
All right, rest. Let's just go to morning.
Come rest, Sibby.
Yep, clock changeover 6 a.m. Real nice. And let's go to night.
What can I do you for? You seem tired,
Till nightfall.
Sibby.
2200, 10 o'clock at night. There we have it, folks. Wake up times for the inns, for the rest bench, activation, deactivation, bloodlust. Bloodlust not working properly, or at least not as described. And the two other augments that no one ever bothers with because they're kind of worthless compared to the others. Either way, it's Mr. Huggles signing out. Catch you later.